Good evening, guys. It is Sunday, 10 p.m. It is APAT Show time. Of course it is. It is the end of the week. Leigh, we have a couple of spectacular guests tonight. Tell us more.
We do. We have a globe-trotting poker legend, the rock star that is Adam Neal, and Paul Haycock's on as well. But anyway, yeah. So welcome to you both.
Absolutely fitting intro.
Fantastic to have you on, boys. How has the week been?
Oh, so good, Adam. Are you literally in a recording studio? Like that background couldn't be more Adam Neal.
Just keeping it real, mate. Just keeping it real.
We're gonna have to deal with the Arsenal shirt on the back wall there, but I suspect we should hold off a little while before we do that. Set the evening out. Leigh, what are we going to be doing?
Well, as is the way at the moment, obviously we've not got any weekly events going on as such. So we fired up another cash game, Des, after the success of last week. Well, I think they've all come back for more because I gave away a lot of money last week playing cash. Only a 5-cent, 10-cent game, but we've got one on the go. We're working on trying to get Adam in on this as well because there is one seat available at the moment. It's the same people that actually played last week. So we got Natalie, Paul, Dan Williams, Tom Bacon, and myself. So we're going to get that up and running. Obviously, we've got a whole lot of stuff to catch up on, and obviously we're going to talk about this time next week, when we're all going to be in Nottingham at dusk till dawn for the UK Team Championships. So looking forward to that.
Very much so, I have to say. And guys, if you're out there, you want to have a chat with Adam and Paul, Leigh, or myself, the normal, right? Just drop a comment in the chat box and we will talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. One Mr. Lawler has already made his way into the chat box with a good evening. Evening to you, Simon. Hope you've had a good week, sir. So
he's going to have had a good weekend.
Well, of course, he's taken major points from City. He's made Adam's weekend, one might say. I mean, just a fantastic late burst from Arsenal that secured all of the points on Saturday. And Forest, taking 2 points off of City, that's got to have been a bit of a godsend, has it not?
100%. It was something that we definitely wasn't expecting. I was up in Nottingham actually the day they were playing. Was it yesterday? And it's a good day of football.
A good day of football. And you must be somewhat relieved without getting too deep into the football yet. But Arsenal have had a rocky sort of couple of weeks, ironically. The City defeat, they've dropped a couple of points in games, and it looked like they were about to do the same at Villa, but that late sort of comeback. Now, I haven't seen the game. I don't know if, Paul or Leigh saw highlights of it, but how did they play, Adam? Are they still sort of in form?
I think the issue is like, I'd say half of the squad all dipped in form at the same time. Is sometimes if like one or two players kind of dip in form, you can kind of grind out a result. But when you look around the squad and the player next to you is dipping in form as well, it's pretty brutal. But the actual game against Villa was something that we haven't seen from Arsenal in so long. Like they
showed bottle.
Yeah, we would crumble usually. So very fortunate goal as well. So.
Well, you take it, and one Mr. Simon
Lawler.
The
third one was. I don't know whether you saw the third one. Obviously, it was 2-2, and so they came back twice from a goal behind, and then absolute screamer which came off the crossbar, hit the back of the keeper's Martinez's head and into the back of the net.
I heard about it.
Yeah, it was unreal.
I heard about it.
And then the fourth goal was a breakaway. Villa were up the other end. The keeper had gone up from a corner, and they obviously went down the other end and stuck it in the back of the net, celebrating before actually he'd even tapped it in. Martinelli, he was actually was like up already cheering for it before it actually.
There was a moment in that game that summed up my fantasy league performance this year perfectly, when Nketiah, who I've got, put it across to Odegaard, who I've got, for an absolute open goal and skewed it wide. I was like, that just sums everything up for me this season. That was the worst.
Well, I can sum up I've lost my heads up fantasy football game this week on the basis that my opposition had a Brighton defender that came off in the 61st minute. So not only picked up the clean sheet before they then conceded, but somehow, after coming off after 61 minutes, picked up 2 bonus points as well. How does that even work?
It's the way it goes. I have to say, it feels like to me that the football season has just started this week. It's just started. We'll go from here, right? I want to forget everything that's gone before. We'll go from here.
Which is ironic because my team's season ended at the weekend. That's it now. It's like end of season party. We've got no chance of making the playoffs now.
Well, listen, my voice is going. For some odd reason, it was perfectly fine 3 minutes ago. But let me try and do this because there's a bunch of the lads out there now. Brendan Byrne has joined Simon.
Go on, Brendan.
Evening, gents. Evening to you, Brendan. Tom Clark. Good evening. Right, a bit of an Arsenal memory there. Good evening. Tom's moved to Peterborough somewhere. Well, we're going to have to talk about that. Why has Tom moved south? What's that about? Simon says, yeah, third goal is a meme. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I would imagine it in and off the goalie's head is going to be a meme. Mr. Wigglesworth is out there. Evening, legends. Evening to you, Pete. Ace is out there. Evening, all. Evening, Asa. Simon Allen. Evening, all. Evening to you, Simon.
Go on, Simon.
Mr. Bacon.
Basically, Adam, most of your teammates from next weekend are in the chat.
They're bailed in. They're trying to motivate you.
I was going to say you mentioned Simon Lawler earlier on for first comment, and I'd welcome him to the show, but I've seen the seat draw now, so he is the enemy.
We'll come back to the seat draw, I'm sure. Mr. Bacon says, we're talking about Arsenal's smash and grab at Villa Park. Absolutely we are. And to be honest, to win a league, you have to be able to smash and grab. Triplin is there. Evening, guys. Evening to you, Tris. Decaf TV, the one and only. Do we all know who Decaf TV is? I up Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, do you know?
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone, isn't he? He's gone. He's gone.
He doesn't get on with Decaf TV.
Well,
so
one Mr. Dan Williams.
Yeah, friend of the show who's currently sat at our cash game. Yes.
Brendan Byrne says third goal was offside. Yeah, I agree. Let's sack a referee. That's what we need to do. Let's sack a referee. I
must admit, when it was 2-2, so when the third one went to VAR, there was a little bit of me. Because I felt Arteta's been looking at his inner Kevin Keegan in recent weeks, and there was a bit of me that thought, oh, please let them give that offside for VAR because he will absolutely go ballistic on the touchline.
This is the problem. Everybody wants us to fail. Everybody wants us to fail.
It's normal. It's absolutely normal.
No. I would say I as a Man United fan. If we, which I don't think we're people are talking about us in the time. I don't think we're there yet. But so therefore, if it is a 2-horse race, I want Arsenal to win it every single day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely want an Arsenal win. If it can't be us, which I don't think it will be.
I mean, City are going to elicit strange responses from people these days because. On one hand, you know, as a Liverpool fan, you'd say, well, I'd hate Arsenal just on their first attempt to win a Premier League title for probably quite some time, first realistic attempt. I'd hate for them to get there over City, given how Liverpool have struggled with it, despite having a great team over 5 years. But given, you know, all the shenanigans with City spending and stuff like that, there can't be too many football fans that want to see City continue to win outside of the Etihad, I would have thought. Wayne Parker's there. Hi. Wayne will be looking forward to next weekend's event, one of the stars of the UK Team Championship over the years. Brendan said similar offsides very much given this season.
He's
True.
not letting that go, is he?
Yeah, well, it's the consistency, right? He's got a point. And Mr. Lawler says in our final comment, no, want Arsenal to win league, please. Very straightforward.
Yeah, I think I've got a few things. Partly it's just that I don't want City to do 3 in a row because I like the fact that United are the sides that have done that, so I don't really want that. And I also think that Arsenal, what they've done so far this season, thoroughly deserve to be where they're at. Great really good. And bear in mind, also Arsenal have had, they've not got strength in depth as much as City have got, but and have managed without, Jesus has obviously been injured for a good while now, and have had a few players in and out that have been there. And and I like what Arteta's doing. I quite enjoyed the fly on the wall doc that they did with them. That was really good. And I say I like what he's doing. I mean, if nothing more, for a guy that's quite prepared to do training with "You'll Never Walk Alone,"
fantastic,
fantastic. Speakers before a Liverpool
on your 5.1 surround sound, brilliant.
He deserves success.
Come on, guys. You need to know how it sounds like. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, listen, we're going to come.
And by the way, that is the best Arteta impression I think I've ever heard. I really...
Hold on. Let me just flick back my Lego hair. Listen, before we get into, I think we're already in football. We're already deep in there, but I don't want to miss this comment which Simon put up earlier, which is both ironic and interesting at the same time. He said, "It's watch the $1 million cash game or this." Now, I'm super pleased that he's in our comments box because it suggests that he's chosen us over them, but I think they start a bit later. But nonetheless, we do want to talk about the $1 million cash game. Have any of you guys been watching this thing over the last 2 evenings? I think
I've seen a couple of clips. I haven't been sitting in watching it, but I have seen a couple of clips. It looks very, very fun. Very fun. So, all right, let me set it up a bit then. If you haven't been, if generally we haven't been watching it, it's a Poker Go cash game. It's a 500k buy-in with one 500k top up allowed, and you've got to take that top up in a single hit, right? There's also 100k that each player has to put in, and that 100k, so the 6 players, that 600k becomes the prize pool after 3 nights. Whoever's won the most in the cash game will get 600k on top of whatever they win. So our very own Rob Young is in there. It's really interesting to watch him play in that sort of event. You've got a couple of others. Patrick Antonius, who doesn't look like he's aged too much in the last 20, 25 years, I have to say. He's in there. There's a couple of Gonzalez's who, I must admit, I don't know too much who these guys are. I've got a story about him actually.
Oh, good.
Exclusive story.
Well, tell us about these guys, Adam. I mean, you look, you're much more likely to know who they are rather than
these
I
are the circles that you're in. This is what you're here for, mate.
Yeah, you're in that space now as ACR's sort of leading man on this side of the globe. That's how we see you. Who are they? There's the Maverick Gaming founder. What is his name?
Pearson.
Okay,
Derek
Pearson,
I think.
And Andrew Roble is in there as well.
Roble, yeah, I think Roble's been crushing it by the looks of things. But
he's up $500,000 after 2 evenings.
Very nice, very nice. With Gonzalez, they call him. His nickname is apparently MJ. He is, when I was in the Thirst Lounge, he was somebody that was introduced to us from Bill Perkins.
Yeah.
And he basically set up prop bets with everybody on the complete quiet, like it wasn't like a public thing. We wasn't doing it publicly and stuff. But he actually bet me $1,000 to wax every hair on my body.
What?
Yeah, $1,000, and it got to the point where I accepted, and I was going. This was a free roll, by the way, just a free roll. I didn't even have to pay the guy any money if I didn't do it. I was in the aisle of the shop, like one of 2 shops in the area that we were staying, and I was looking for all the waxing stuff. I was zoned in, and I had to have it waxed by one of the other housemates as well.
Jesus.
And they had to film it and send it to him. To cut a long story short, as I went to pay for the wax and stuff, it just hit me. This is not worth $1,000.
No, this is not worth $1,000. You don't want that video going around viral on the internet. No, I don't think so. So this guy,
I think I would want $1,000 per hair.
Yeah, well,
out of curiosity, Adam, where did you decide the level was when you got into reality?
Yeah, what was the price?
Yeah. So where are we? Where did you pitch it in your head in the end?
No video evidence. Then I would be doing it for less than $1,000, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
So this guy, MJ Gonzalez, right? He has coached Bill. But he's also coached Negreanu, by all accounts.
Yeah,
how does that come about?
He owns Hybrid Poker, I believe it is, which is a brand that he's been building for some time. I think he has been playing big cash games for a long time as well. And yeah, the Hybrid Poker thing is something that I've seen them advertising recently, where you basically just go on and you kind of choose the best option out of the out of the choices that's given, kind of like a DTO or like a Pio Silva type thing. And yeah, I think he was coaching Bill for his heads up thing against Doug. I think was it Doug or Landon was it? And then yeah, he's been coaching D-Negs as well. So
yeah, it's impressive stuff. So this is messing with my head, right? And I watched maybe a couple hours on Friday night. So the game started around 11:30 and it was free on YouTube, right? So anybody could watch it. And I watched a couple hours again late last night. And there's another player there called Gonzalez, something like that. So it's slightly different. Different players messing with my head just to separate these two guys from a surname point of view. They've sort of brought this element to the game whereby they have a stand-up portion, right? So everybody stands up. And if you win a hand, you get to sit down, right? And the last person to sit down has to pay the other 5 players something. So I think it was like £5,000 a player, $5,000 a player, the last one. But this guy, Gonzalez, lost all 5 of the stand-up games. The odds are at like about 45,000 to 1. He lost all 5 of them. He's lost about $150,000 just in having to pay every other player. Stand-up game. It's been really interesting to watch. The final session is tonight. The blinds are 1,000, 2,000 with a 2,000 sort of big blind ante. Every player will have $1 million. You know, there's going to be 6 million on the table, and it's very likely that the biggest hand in live streamed poker will occur in tonight's session. So yeah, it was interesting to see Simon mention it. Pretty good poker to be watching, albeit it's late. You know, as you'd expect with a Vegas, it's been played in Vegas. But it's interesting to see Rob on there because you know he is against players that are better than him, as he's readily sort of recognised on several occasions. He had a very unlucky 40-odd minutes streak towards the end of the second day, where he lost about $400,000. So he went from being slightly up to being about 380k down. Hell of a streak to come across.
I don't know whether it's unlucky though. I don't know whether you saw Rob's promo. He put a little promo video out on Twitter just to say it was happening before it all started, and just said, this is all happening, guys. It's being live streamed.
I saw that.
I'm just get back into playing a bit of poker. Been a bit rusty, but I've had a few warm up games where I've been misreading my cards and miscounting chips and things, but I think I'll probably be okay. So I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, to be honest, he did a bit of that. He certainly did a bit of that. Very interesting to watch. Now let's see what's going on in the chat box, right? So we're going back a bit here. Tom Bacon wasn't impressed by my German Arteta. Mr. Wigglesworth said, to be fair, it was a decent impression of Klopp. Oh dear. Asa says that cash game format sounds fairly familiar for some reason. There's a little bit of the old cash tour to it, Leigh. I have to say, I think somebody stole our idea.
I did think that's the APAT Cash Tour that we ran a few years back.
There you go.
They nicked that. Yeah,
they've had that. The English Tom Clark says, be awesome if Arteta could win the league with Arsenal in 2023. Still remember him scoring a penalty to seal the title for Rangers in 2003. Okay. Simon says 50k maybe. I'm not sure what the 50k is. That
that'll be the hair. I presume that's the how much
the price of the follicle removal.
Price of follicle removal. Yeah.
Ooh, and Tom said Helmuth on LA.
Really, Simon? Someone offers you 48k. You're going to turn that down?
Ooh, it sounds sore.
It sounds sore. It's a fair comment. Yeah.
So Leigh, how's this cash game going? Have we name checked our players tonight?
Yeah. So same folks that played last week. We had Dan in the studio last week. We've obviously got Paul this week with myself.
Super.
Basically, I'm funding Tom Bacon again, which is one of my favourite things to do on a Sunday night at the moment, because I'm assuming Tom's still struggling to deposit on Party or something like that. So I've said I'd help him out. Yeah, chip dumping everybody. You can pop it in the chat now.
I'm giving Natalie back. I'm giving Natalie back all the money that I won off her last week. Slightly disappointing.
Fantastic.
So I'm the one that's normally still sat at $20 every time you look, Des, because it's basically auto topping me up. That's basically the reality of it at the moment. So We'll keep it ticking along nicely.
I gotta say, Leigh, it's hard to look at a game, where $20 is the buy-in when you've been looking at something, players are playing with $1 million in front of them. It's difficult. We have to do better.
But it's an interesting one though, Des, because we've had this conversation, but we've had this conversation before, and obviously one of the things we're going to talk to Adam about is his recent trips overseas. But you played in some big comps, Adam. Does the buy-in bother you? Does it change your game at all, or how do you look? Is it about competing when it comes to poker?
It definitely used to. 100%. It definitely used to. But this was like before I was doing any sort of studying, and as soon as I realized that, I used to go to bed and think to myself hating the way that I played a hand, and I never knew if it was correct or not at any buy-in. So now I go to bed, even if it's like the PSPC, for example. I went to bed knowing that I could then study the hands that I kind of felt like might have been bad or good, and then learn from those. So it doesn't really change the way I try not to get emotionally attached to it now, to be honest. As long as I know that the decision has been correct, then or even bad, even if I found out that it's bad, I'm kind of content with that, to be honest.
Listen, Leigh, he says all of that. But the last time we spoke to Adam, he was in a garden shed. And now it looks like he's in some sort of bordillo dungeon sort of torture chamber thing, which, to be honest, looks pretty cool. That's not a garden shed, Adam, right?
It's not.
He's moved up. He has moved up, Leigh.
We're getting there. We
are getting there. So let's wind it back, right? You've had a pretty exceptional last few months. D2D, the UK Championship, you went into the high roller, and I think, the day before, you went out onto Facebook and said, I'm going to set a little bit of action here, guys. It was taken instantly, right? It was taken up pretty damn quickly, if I remember correctly. And you only went and won the thing, which was the first live streamed sort of event, through Rob's new table and stuff like that, which I know he's continuing to develop and evolve that. But you had a lot of people watching on. You went and beat some of DTD's most celebrated players, proper tough tournament players. That must have been a hell of a thrill to win a £1,000 buy-in, against that level of player.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the field was really tough. It was a really tough field. Kind of funny, day two, we turned up and one of our players was sitting out, and he was sitting out for 3 hours. He had a huge stack and he was just sitting out. So I had, we wasn't getting a new player. So I was playing against 5 absolute beasts all to my left. And we wasn't getting a table changer, a table break or anything. We just had this empty seat for all this time, and it made a real weird dynamic. But yeah, just one of the things I don't know. I guess it was my time to win that tournament. First trophy that I've won. Just got lucky, really.
Where's the trophy now?
It's actually right next to me.
That's right next to me. Of course it is. Do show. Put Natalie Bromley to shame.
Come on.
Oh, that is pretty nice. I have to say, though, I think Natalie's might be nicer. I have to say, last week she brought in, was it last week? She showed us a W Coupe online winner's trophy. Very sweet.
2 weeks ago.
Lovely to see some trophies
mine's
on the show.
Mine's a little bit old and dusty. Now, but I can go and get it if you want.
Do not try and pull that line on us, Paul. You two guys have teamed up, right? So, Adam, you've been called into the APAT Show team for the UK Team Championship next weekend. Of course, the lads and ladies.
Please give us our full title, Des. The all-conquering. Please give us our full name. The all-conquering.
I can certainly do that. Well, I was going to say the guys and gals are coming in as champions, right? So they won it last time out. I've been seeing a bit in the APAT Show WhatsApp group or Facebook group. There's a little bit of shenanigans going on about, how did you get Neil? He was meant to come and play for us. There's that sort of, I can't name any names, but
what that is, what are those guys? Because I hate charity. Because
I didn't want to say anything.
There's nothing I hate more than a good charitable cause. So I thought I'd steal race for Jack's Adam Neal and bring him in when a member of the original 8 frankly let me down. That's the way that works.
She's never getting back in the team. Am I right?
Oh no, she's straight back in.
You are not
She's
right.
Straight back in.
You are definitely not right.
Just testing the water, seeing how much documentary evidence I can get.
That said,
and you're downfall.
That said, that said, let's see how he does. Never say never, right?
Is Simon still in the chat? Has he got space available in it?
Oh yeah.
Simon's there.
Have you played this one before, Adam? Have you played in the UK team before? You have done.
I got second with Race for Jack.
Okay.
Previously.
Yeah, because this one's a bit different. This UK team championship, right? It's lively. It's like a bit of a Christmas works do. It feels like that. Everybody's just well on.
Very, very good fun. All the characters there, all the legends from the APAT scene. Yeah, it's so good.
How did it go for you individually last year? Obviously, the team finished second. Did you make day 2, or did you do your bit?
I've got a couple of medals here from the last time, actually. No, yeah, I think I got I got a silver and a bronze. I think I got third in the actual event, and then second.
Oh, I was just lining you up for the opportunity to kind of brag a little bit about it. It wasn't just.
What do you think? What do you think?
Second. Yeah, I wasn't only in the team that finished second. I actually not only final tabled, I individually medaled as well. So it's not.
What do you think I'm bringing? Did you think I'm bringing? Did you think I'm bringing in chumps? We've got our reputation too.
Oh, I tell you what, you're in trouble, Paul. Natalie's in the chat box. Tune into the APAT show. They said it'll be fun. They said, I might have got you in trouble there, Paul. I have to say, I'll take that. So who else do we have? Mr. Baker has joined us.
It's not you.
Evening, Adam. He says it's nice to have a proper poker player on the firm. Yeah, gotta agree.
Good to see you, mate.
Got to agree. Pete says to go three-handed versus Wadey and Fraser was awesome, and to take the title. Yeah, I was pretty incredible.
Just lucky, lads. Just lucky.
Talk about the deal, right? So we had that moment about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours before the thing finished. There was 3 or 4 of you left. Was it maybe the 3 of you? And it seemed like that maybe it was Fraser. It seemed like. Was trying to encourage a deal. Now, you had in the hand before, or 2 hands before, you'd actually won a decent pot. You'd taken the chip lead, slight chip lead. How did that deal discussion go? Because it was a shame, I get it, but it was a shame that DTD didn't allow that conversation to happen on the stream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was actually Wadey. Wadey was the one that was pushing pretty hard. He was pushing pretty hard for it. Fraser was really against it.
Okay.
Yeah, Fraser was really against it. He basically said, Fraser was like, as soon as we make a deal, I just won't care. I just won't care about the extra 5K or whatever it was, or the trophy. Yeah, I just won't be bothered. So as soon as he said that, I was like, well, I'm pretty happy to take the deal and then just probably beat Wadey for the extra 5K. I kind of saw it like that. And they were arguing as well. There was some sort of drama between Fraser and Wadey as well. I'm not sure if that got caught on camera.
I didn't sense it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just Fraser just made a bad call and Wadey blew up a bit, bless him. But as soon as that happened, it was just, I don't know, it was cool. I kind of like doing deals, to be fair. I'm never really against the idea of doing deals.
Yeah, and the timing was good for you, right? Because you certainly at that point you took the majority of the deal money. Obviously, there was an extra 5K, 6K left on the table.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, an extra 5K on the table.
5K left on the table. So, I mean, you ended up taking, pretty much what you were going to get for winning the thing anyway. Hell of an experience. No, I didn't really get a sense that they were butting, but I didn't get a huge amount of warmth off of either. And given the fact that they've both obviously played so much together over the years, I didn't get a sense of warmth, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean both of them really, really top guys as well. They were really, really friendly to me. First time I met Fraser, obviously know of Wadey, but we'd never really spoken properly before that. But yeah, both top guys, to be fair.
Yeah, top guys. So getting back to APAT event at DTD next weekend, Triplin says, poaching Neal, you should be ashamed. He's directly pointing that at Paul. He goes on to say, shortest price favourites ever next week, I imagine. I wouldn't imagine they are. I would imagine, what odds would you get, Leigh, do you think, in your considered opinion, trying to pick a winning team in how many teams do we have in there?
We've got 45 teams. I mean, you can't,
it's impossible, right?
That's going to be, is going to be I mean, even the best, even if you said, okay, they look the best potential lineup, you can't be putting them anything much shorter than, I don't know, 16-1, maybe, something like that, maybe
even
maybe even
12,
longer.
12, 16, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
because you just couldn't possibly,
And there's a ton of experience in this competition, right? So like all of these players have played APATs for many, many years, pretty much all of them. So there's a lot of experience there. Simon is claiming you for Blonde as well. Adam, he said you played for Blonde back in the day. Triplin went on to say, mind you, as Kevin Keegan said, I would love it if the show don't win. Love it! I would love it if the show don't win. Would love it. What's happening to Newcastle in the league? What about the football? What's happening to
Matt, like that's. Oh,
it's unfair. You're just going to have to get the needle. You're going to have to take the needle, okay. Paul. Simon says role of chump is already filled, captain. I don't know who he can't be talking about himself, surely not. Wayne said sat with Adam.
He does this all the time. Simon, pipe down with your self-deprecating nonsense.
Top player Simon Allen. Wayne says sat with Adam from the first deal on day one right to the end by the way I won. So there you go. So that was the year Wayne won. Chris Hibbert says, I was not that drunk last year, lol. People do drink at this event. Do you think if DTD stocked up enough, Leigh? Have they got enough beer in?
Yeah, they'll be fine. They've learned their lessons. They know when to stock up for an APAT weekend. Shouldn't be a problem.
Asa, Man City's Asa McGrath says 2 Adams in the final 3. Neither of them won. Piffed. Who was the other Adam?
Sharples.
Of course.
It ended up Wayne. It ended up Wayne against Adam heads up. I mean, great. I mean, it's a great fight. The 3 individual medalists last year, yourself, Adam, plus Adam Sharples and Wayne Parker, say all APAT
top
legends.
Yeah,
great lineup that was.
Pete says 6-1 at best. You're not going to get any takers at 6-1.
No.
Can't see it. I mean,
I'll tell you what, Pete. Why don't you just bring 8 great big targets to stick on our backs as well? They're saying things like,
Simon Allen,
longest we should be is 6-1. Come on.
Yeah, Simon Allen is taking that 16-1, Leigh. So he'd have a piece of that.
I wasn't actually offering it. I was simply suggesting.
That's where generally in that area.
Bank of Wiltshire is going to take an absolute hosing at the team event.
Absolutely.
You love to see it.
And Virgo81 from The Twitch says, hello all. Hello to you, sir. So there you go,
hello,
guys.
John.
That's his hello, John Virgo. Yes, we'll get a few trick shots. There speaks a bookie, says Mr. Lawler. So I'm not sure
that's right.
Is that Mr. Wigglesworth? That would be Mr. Wigglesworth. 6-1. That's good value. Good value. Get on that, guys. Lots of value there. So it's going to be an incredible tournament. Did anything come out of the draw that anyone wants to cry about or?
Yeah, so it got a bit giddy in the APAT Show team chat this afternoon because they'd all realised the draw was up, and so that's up on the website for anyone that hasn't had a chance to have a look at it yet. If you go and find the UK event page on the website, and Tom has posted up all of the seats.
Yeah, if you go to www.haycockstitchup.com, you'll find the.
Who have you got, Paul? Who's on your table?
I'm not saying anything negative about the standard in APAT events, by any means at all. But there's quite a lot of juicy spots in a 45 team, £100 comp, and I've got Dan Williams to my immediate left and John Young to the left of him. So not entirely sure how that's worked out, but that doesn't feel like the easiest seat draw. But we'll give it a go.
Yeah, we'll give it a go. Danny Strange says, looking forward to catching up with you all next weekend. I hope they've stocked the bar this time round. Yeah, we've given them plenty of notice, I have to say.
Running theme. There's a running theme.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a running theme.
Notice that's all everyone's concerned about, not what will the parking be like? Is the seats going to be comfortable? No, I hope they've stopped the bar. Yeah, that's all that matters. And of course, it's although it's not Super Bowl weekend, because that was last weekend, which was a great game, by the way. That was if you don't know how much of that you got to see last weekend, Des, but it was a really good game.
But half-time.
Of course, next Sunday is the Carabao Cup final. So
is it really, Leigh? I think we finished the football bit, Leigh.
Yeah,
That's
no,
done.
just
We did that. We
mentioning
did that
it.
earlier in the show.
Yeah.
It's not on the showrunners list now. I can't see that now. Football's gone. So.
Yeah, no. Okay, so obviously it's not a competition that you need to worry about, Des. Or,
No, definitely not.
Or,
Well, only to
or
hand
any
the cup
competition,
over.
to be perfectly honest. Doesn't your season finish once you play your 2 games against Real Madrid? That's pretty much how it works, isn't it? Yeah, that's you done, isn't it? Yeah?
I tell you, quietly, and we'll absolutely talk about the Carabao Cup final. Quietly, we've had a great week. Decent win over Everton. We looked, pretty decent against Newcastle as well, although we gave them,
Do you really think you did?
No, I do.
Do you really think you did?
Do you know why? And here's why, and you might find this out next weekend. Newcastle are actually a pretty decent team. It's hard to see them as they are today, but actually they were
I'm not saying
impressive.
they're not, but I thought they battered you and you were somehow 2-0 up.
No. They only had 35% possession.
Then they went down to 10 men, and I thought, well, okay, I've got Gakpo and Darwin in my fantasy football team, so they've got a goal each. I'm thinking they are going to get a barrel load here now, and they carried on. But you just didn't know what to do. Couldn't understand it.
But I think so. That's not unusual in games where you're up against 10 men, particularly when they're at home, and actually. They're a pretty decent team, so they use the ball well, right? And the likes of St. Maxim and stuff, they're threatening, right? I think that's going to be a really good final next Sunday because United are in rude form as well. They're playing really, really well. I think it could be a great final. I think you could see some goals there at Wembley. But no,
I feel sorry for Pope. I feel sorry for Pope. Rules are rules,
so.
and it is
very
what it is.
So.
But that's pretty
Cup
gutting,
final,
isn't it? Really?
No. I was so happy. He was
really
just one of these
fans
that just time wastes all the time. We just sit on the bench, mate.
Of course, and the funny side is obviously their reserve goalkeeper. They loaned to us for the first half of the season, so he's now cup tied. So they are pretty much on. I think hasn't their third choice keeper one of your ex lot?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it up there. Yeah. Aces said awaiting a Karius super show next week. Karius's last game for Liverpool was the Champions League final in Kiev, where Liverpool lost 3-1, and he left 2 absolute howlers go in, which basically decided the cup. He had an unsuccessful time, I think, at Union Berlin, and he's been back at Newcastle for a while, hasn't played, sort of reserve games and stuff like that, but it's now possible that he will play in the cup final for them. But he wasn't a bad goalie. I mean, he's signed for Newcastle, he's signed for Liverpool. He's not a bad goalie, but he'll be coming in pretty rusty, you'd have to say, to a big occasion like that.
Couple of interesting ones, I believe, and I've only heard this, but if Man United win next week, apparently the Newcastle keeper, will get a medal because he's played.
Yeah, he doesn't get a medal if they win.
And apparently also Ronaldo would as well.
Really? Oh shit! You should throw the game. You should go throw the game, Leigh. Throw the game.
Ridiculous state of affairs if that's the case. Apparently, if we did by somehow magical reason manage to win the Premier League, he's made 16 appearances this season. So he would be entitled to a medal. I mean, we're not going to, but I'm just putting it out there.
To be honest, you say you're not going to. Well, we're going to go back into an Arsenal discussion again, and we really don't want that. But well, no, maybe Arsenal have showed us at Villa that they do have the bottle for it. Maybe they have. Who's your next couple of games against Adam?
We got Leicester and Bournemouth. We got Everton. We got a pretty good run. I think end of April we've got Liverpool. I think 26th of April or something.
Yeah, well, you can write that one off, but the others are winnable.
But you've got City. You've got to play City again.
We got to play
at their place. Which obviously at the Emirates it didn't go quite according to plan. But City had one of their better days because they've been a bit up and down this season as well.
Yeah, we were missing Partey as well, and I think Everton's going to be the main. That's our game in hand at the moment, Everton. So we'll see. I don't know.
Well, they got to win. They got to win over the weekend, didn't they? So Natalie's ex-manager has driven them to 2 wins in his 3 games. I mean, that's a pretty damn good 6 points out of 9 is a pretty damn good return. You've got to be happy with that. They're up to 15th or 16th in the league now. Obviously, still very much in the mire of it, but Everton could, start to become a tougher match. We will see. So what else are we saying? So Simon says Notts County on TV Saturday night too. I have no idea why he's told us that Notts County are on TV on Saturday night. Of course, they're head-to-head with Wrexham in the conference, going for the title. That one looks like it's going to be pretty close, so it'll be interesting to see who they're playing. Danny says drinks Friday to Sunday, so he's just correcting Triplin. It's not about drinks on Friday, it's about drinks all over the weekend. Di says true story. A lot of people will agree with that. Triplin says horrible feeling Karius plays a blinder on Sunday. Hope I'm wrong. I mean, it's possible. He is a decent keeper. Chris says we were saving it for the Real Madrid game. And, part of the reason that I'm sort of quite happy with the week from a Liverpool point of view is that pretty much all of the goals that we've scored during this week have come from breakaway type plays, right? Where we're not up against a blanket defence and what have you. And I think we'll have a bit of that against Real Madrid. I think they'll have plenty of the ball, they'll attack us, and I think they'll give us opportunities to run at them. So quietly, I'm sort of looking forward to just seeing how that whole thing goes.
I think Newcastle have had a bit of a blip. I mean, they've stopped scoring goals. They've obviously drawn so many games this season, having had a great start. So it'll be interesting. So it'll be a good cup final next week. That's for sure. A good place.
I'm definitely team Notts County in that non-league one, by the way. This idea of the Wrexham thing being like a fantasy. It's a lovely thing. No, it's not. You give a non-league team infinite money. They've got half a country as a catchment area, and you're surprised that they've got fans and top of the league. Like, come on. I'm not buying that at all. Go on, County.
The romance is dead. The romance is dead. Talking about the death of romance. Di is out there. Can you stop the babblery, the footy thing? Let's talk knitting. Bless her. I don't think Di's ever spoke knitting in her life. I can't imagine that. Di says, let's hear one of Adam's rap songs, please. Live drop the mic ad. Right, come on. So let's talk about Turra 4. Since you moved back out of the shed and into the house, right? You seem to have had a remarkable run of success with the band. You've been playing proper gigs, proper venues in front of super passionate fans, as far as I can see. You guys have been consistently churning out new material, getting played on Radio 1 and stuff like that. How has the last year and a half been for the band? Are you ahead of where you projected? And what's coming next?
So it was really frustrating. Last year was really, really frustrating. It started off incredibly well. We got signed to a management company around April time, and then by May we had Universal knocking on the door, and we was in talks with Universal from June until December. Literally December, just like a couple months ago. We had A&Rs coming to watch us perform and everything, but in that time we wasn't able to release anything because we wasn't too sure what the deal was going to be with Universal. It was going to probably be 2 digital releases under Universal, which would have been like a dream come true, really. And it just fizzled out in the end. Just completely went up into smoke.
Why did it fizzle, do you think?
Well, we're no longer with our management company now.
Okay. So you're sort of saying you maybe your representative didn't get it done, didn't get it across the line. Is there any way you can revisit that?
Quite possibly, but I think we're kind of liking the idea of, because I come from a rap background, the other guy comes from a rap background, that we're kind of in this metal scene where we don't really fit in, but we're actually making kind of cool music as well. So we're kind of liking the independent vibe, and not really getting too caught up on label.
Yeah, money is nice though, Adam. Money's really nice.
It is.
If you get money, you can buy a Ferrari. They told me that back in the day.
Yes, very, very, very true. But to be honest, I'm getting old, mate, as well. So I'm
getting old. Getting old.
Yeah, and I'm just whatever happens with the music now.
Really? You're on this call. You're on this call
Yeah,
with
we're
these
not- we're
four
not having
people,
that.
and you're saying you're
We're not
getting
having
old.
that. He's the coolest one, just stood there out of all of us, and he's getting old. No, we're not having that. So, let's have one of Adam's rap songs, please. So I haven't got a video. I can't share a video tonight, right? Like we did a year and a half ago. Come on, give us something. Can you give us something?
We have tomorrow night we have an exclusive being played on Radio 1, which no one knows about. So yeah, it's being
What,
played
something
tomorrow.
new? Something new?
So,
Wow.
Can you give us an a cappella version of it? Just even a couple of lines? Come on, man. I mean, for us, Leigh and Des to scoop Radio 1 would be quite a big thing in the APAT story.
Very true, very true. It's actually being the track's actually being used by PokerStars for the ESPN of the PSPC as well. They've actually.
What? You didn't come to us first? What? I thought we agreed you didn't like money. Why didn't you come to us?
No, pure freebie, no money involved. So yeah, but it's tomorrow night.
Did they approach you about that, Adam, or did you, or was it something you were talking to some people and said, I've got something, and or how did it come about?
They wanted to do some filming because I was a Platinum Pass winner, and I just randomly said, I do music. Maybe I could get a song on the show if possible, and it just managed to fit. So
I mean, I was going to ask you about that. So how was the whole Platinum Passing? I mean, first of all, for those that don't know, how did it come about, and then how was that as an experience?
Yeah, incredible. I won it from a free roll. I had to put a rap to Finton Hands, one of the streamers, pros for stars. Back in 2019, I think it was, I won it. I had to do a rap, and then I got into a sit and go, 36-man sit and go, and streamed that sit and go and ended up winning it. Heads Up was pretty insane because the first place was a 30k package, and second place was 5 Sunday Million seats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good result. Good result.
Yeah.
And you went on to PCA, and you played 25k buy-in.
Yep. Yep.
Talk us through that. How did that turn out for you? What was the experience?
I had Adrian Mateos to my left, and who's just like an absolute beast. But we kind of knew early on there was other spots at the table. We just didn't really need to. It's such a long game. Like it's like an insane structure. We just didn't really need to clash throughout the day. So we kind of kept out of each other's way, thank God, because he would have ruined me. And yeah, I had a really good stack, and then basically I got through to end of day 2, like 30 minutes from the end of day 2, and just lost like Queens versus Ace King for, I think it was like 85 bigs, which would have shot me into day 3 and in the money, 30k min cash, and yeah.
Good experience.
Incredible. I wouldn't change a thing. I took the family out there, so I took my son and my wife. So it's just nice to be able to enjoy moments with them as well, really.
Yeah. Well, I love the way you talk about Mateus there, and sort of said, well, we sort of decided not to go against each other. We thought better spots elsewhere. Did you look across the table at him and sort of say, just stay out of my way? Or did you send him a Turra 4 clip, or what? I mean, how did you become a we, the two of you?
No, he was probably looking at me. In my head, it was a we, but he was looking at me thinking,
God, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, he was definitely thinking, I can't wait to get this fucking guy's chips, for sure.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Turra 4, just for a minute, the guy who was your guitarist, and I think he was doing a lot of the production stuff in the background, the sort of ginger-haired guy, what was his name again?
So the ginger hair guy's the other vocalist, and then the guitarist is Tim.
So who was doing the production stuff? You said he put together your first video.
Tim.
That was Tim. All right. So, well, maybe I'm talking about the ginger-haired guy, because we got this picture of him. Apparently, he did the Universal deal. He got a solo album. This is him. Is that the same one?
Wait, hold up. I haven't seen this album, but yes,
I'm pretty sure that's him, right? That's where the money went. Adam, that's where the money went.
There you go.
Just wait till I turn up next week. I'm going to change the way people look at me, for sure.
Well, if you speak to Diane enough times, she
we've
will
only got medium-sized team shirt, so you probably won't.
Oh, fantastic! What's happening in the game, Leigh? Who's making the money?
I'm winning some money, Des. It's going really well. This is
Tom Bacon of $62.
Tom Bacon is sat on $62.
Sweet.
I'm sat on 40 at the
Nice.
moment. Paul and Dan are back to the 20 level, and Natalie is still a little bit up, a couple of bucks up. But,
good girl.
My favourite hand so far has been where me and Tom both hit runner flushes, and his was obviously bigger, so he got 20 off me that way. That's how he does it. Save that for next weekend, will you?
Yeah, but it's just steadily. I've just been steadily gathering a few dollars here, trying to win a bit back from last week. So that's the idea.
Is it hard to play and talk on the live stream at the same time, or is that easy?
Have you noticed how I've hardly spoken at all?
Yeah, I know you've been quiet up there. You've been quiet up there, squirreling away.
Maybe I should concentrate more on talking, and that will actually help my game.
I managed to be listening to you guys and paying attention.
I was promised a PLO game.
Yeah, watch obviously the poker as well. Keep an eye on the Facebook chat and also check my WhatsApp and Facebook messages as well to make sure no one's messaging you.
Hey, at least Leigh, no leaderboard, right?
Well, yeah, if we were doing a leaderboard, we really would be struggling tonight.
You do very well for a man, I have to say, Leigh. I couldn't do it. Adam, I have another one for you. ACOR, you moved to ACOR, a year ago?
Yeah, just over a year now. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So America's Card Room. I've seen lots of stuff. I mean, obviously your brand is very well known over here. And I've seen lots of mentions of them. You know, I think were you doing a little bit of promotion around the festival? There's little bits of promotion here and there that you tend to see. Do many of the players that we'd know play on the card room software, or what is the gig really? How would they play with ACOR if they wanted to?
Yeah, so we are heavily crypto based. The good thing about the site is we do player to player transfers. So if people need money on there, it's very easy I can get people money on there if no problem. And then the way to withdraw is literally via crypto, and it sounds a real ball ache to withdraw from crypto. It's kind of scary for people that don't know about it. I was one of those people, and then withdrawals, you literally get your money majority of the time within sort of 10 minutes in your bank, straight from the site. So yeah,
that was never a problem for
just
me.
explain to Des what withdrawing money means from a poker site. Yeah, so it's not something he'd be familiar with.
It's something that I've heard about. I don't know too much about it either, to be honest. But
it's like leftover Maltesers. It's not a thing at all.
No, I must admit, I've never seen money come back out of a poker site. But pleased to hear that it's a thing. That's reassuring for the community.
Apparently so.
So, what's the schedule like? Do you have any big tourneys? What does ACOR sell itself on? What's its point of difference?
So, unfortunately for us, like in this European market, it's really difficult. Just because of the time zone difference. We are improving our European kind of schedule, just because we've got Chris Moorman as one of the pros. Obviously one of the biggest names in online poker over the years.
Sorry, who?
Chris Moorman. He's numerous triple crown. He's got triple crowns. He's
Did he play APAT, Leigh? I don't think he did. So we don't know Chris. He didn't come through us. So
he's a nobody then. He's a nobody.
No, a top player, Chris Moorman.
I'm still cross with him for not calling his book the Book of Mormon.
I know, it was quite the opportunity, wasn't it? Yeah. So you got Mormon. Who else do you have? On the celeb or influencer front, because you're big into that, right?
Yeah, we got Ape Styles, so Jonathan Van Fleet, also a beast, and then kind of on like the influencer side of things, we got John Pardy. We've got, who else have we got? Actually, we just recently got Monica from Party, so we now have Monica as an ACR pro. She's super cool. So yeah, we've got some good people. Ebony Kenny.
And is the aim to continue growing that and to try and grow the site? Is that the way you're going about it?
Yeah, definitely. I think in regards to, there's a lot of improvements that we know that need to be made, and it's just kind of stepping stones. But we're definitely branching out. Like we went out to PokerStars, the PCA. That was the first time that ACRs really kind of dipped their toe into any kind of live scene and actually made an impact. Even the videos that we're doing at Dust to Dawn this week, that's something that I've tried to introduce with my team. I kind of manage 67 players at the moment for ACR, of all different time zones as well. So yeah, it was cool taking them there and getting video stuff and just trying to grow the brand.
Yeah. Well, I just want to let you know that Leigh and I are available, right? Our green room retainer it's grapes and cash. Do we take cash, Leigh? We take cash.
Yeah, well, we still take cash. Yeah, these days, yeah.
Would we take crypto, Leigh? Would we take crypto? What the hell is crypto?
Yeah.
Leigh, what's crypto?
As long as I can, can put it into my bank, it'd be fine. Yeah,
straight away. I can help you with that.
Yeah, there we go. That's
unfortunately, Duffy coin has absolutely tanked recently. So that's
oh man, Duffy coin tanked a long time ago. Let me tell you. So, all of you guys out there who have been chatting with us all night, have you played ACR? Let us know what you think. If you did, if you played it, what was it like? Was it decent? Give us marks. Let us know.
Honest feedback.
Honest feedback, always. Your leader, Adam, Phil, right? Phil is the CEO and founder of ACR. What's he like? Phil. Decent bloke or?
G, absolute, G. That's right, an absolute G. He's a top guy.
Yeah,
real. Like people. So this is one thing. Like this is why the whole Twitter world and everything is insane, because people have such a bad representation at times of ACR. We've had issues, and obviously Phil being that face, we're not like a big beast of a brand like Stars, etc., who are just like a big corporate beast. Phil actually puts himself in the firing line and will respond to people via Twitter and stuff, which is quite unheard of from a CEO of a company. The guy is insanely generous, and he loves poker. So yeah, if anybody ever gets a chance to meet him, he's an amazing dude.
Yeah, listen, Adam, invite him on the show. We'd love to have a chat with him. But particularly during this period where we haven't nailed our mast to another room, it makes it so much easier for us to have a decent old chinwag with with just somebody who's a personality in the industry. We'd love to do that, wouldn't we, Leigh? Get him on.
Absolutely. I mean, some great questions in the chat. Tom Clark's asking, is the volatility around crypto at the moment not likely to throw people off using ACR as a crypto based site? So what would you say to that, Adam?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, admittedly, a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, withdrew some money onto his crypto, and by the time that he withdrew it, he lost like £40. But on the flip side, it could go the other way. As long as you do it kind of straight away, there's never a real issue. You can use Luxon on ACR. The issue is we can't use Luxon on there. So how does that work? So you can use Luxon to deposit? So I say we're not able to use it in England, but people people outside of England, America can't use it, but outside of England, people can deposit.
Okay. And Luxon's becoming, I mean, we're obviously great fans of what the guys are doing there at Luxon. And pretty much they're now across the vast majority of the online poker world, and more of the live events. I just think it's the future of holding a poker bankroll.
100%. Yeah, it's so good.
So the Oracle has come back and said, no, is it still bot infested? Don't know if you had issues with that, Adam. And obviously, you're not the product guy, right? We wouldn't know what of this stuff but obviously that's a comment that's come back. It's an interesting one. Mr. Bacon says ACR very good, pretty soft and amazing structures. That's good to hear. Triplin has a go at me. I can't believe it, just because I've got a bit of a lisp. Did Des go to the same pronouncing school as Jonathan Ross? Acor? Did I? Maybe. Simon Allen
just in a hand here with Paul. There's $16 in the middle.
Oh, that's a big hand
on Paul. Yeah. It's
you'll notice I've gone quiet again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to fire River until you started chirping.
Really? I'll put a little value bet in there then, shall I? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I've had you dominated pre. You've absolutely smashed flop. You failed to get any value out of turn, and now you're going to try and get $6 out of me on river.
Cool.
that's a reasonable read, I'd have thought.
Come on then, for the fans. There you go. Have it dominated as well. I actually thought
there we go. Of course he had it. Of course he had it.
Well,
Talking about,
I didn't even see what you had there, Paul.
If I
What did you
hadn't
have?
got Queens.
What did you have? Queens.
Paul, you best be doing better than this next week, mate.
That's a bit of a rub on the captain.
Very carelessly having a 2-ace flop there. That was silly of me. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, mate.
On the crypto
if I hadn't got auto muck checked, I genuinely would have folded that.
Do you have to withdraw to a crypto wallet, Adam?
That's the way that I would recommend like players from here to do it. Yeah, it's insanely easy. Like, it's really easy.
Yeah.
And what's your general take on crypto? Obviously, ACR use it, so it's great. But I mean, do you see crypto as being genuinely the kind of the future of finance, or is it just a phase that the world's going through? What do you think?
I've kind of buried my head in the sand with it, mate. To be honest, I just haven't looked into it anywhere near as much as people have spoke about it. I don't even know too much about it. I don't think banks will allow it, to be honest. I know people say, but I don't know. I'm a novice, mate. I know nothing about that.
It's not going away, Leigh, is it? I mean,
No.
So the numbers might be down at the moment, but the stock market goes up and down. This just goes up and down in greater degrees.
I think we're probably similar to you. We've talked about it on the show before, Adam.
Yeah.
I'm in the finance world, and I've steered well clear of it. I take the view that something which is not necessarily regulated. So who's really controlling it? What can you really trust? And I know people say, well, yes, but it's going against the institutions that have always had the weighted in their favor for a long time, and all of that. But it comes with risk, doesn't it? And I'm a firm believer that if somebody's winning or gaining in this world, somebody somewhere is losing and losing value. That's just the way of the world. That's the way it works. You can't constantly because I had an interesting chat with Jen's niece the other week, talking about taxes in general, and she said, "Well, why can't they just print more money to get things built and get things done?" And it was like, it's a lovely notion, but that's not really how the world works, is it? And and unfortunately, there is a balance in everything that we have, and I think crypto is one of those. It's for all those that are winning and earning out of crypto. There are people that quietly will have lost as well.
Yeah. There are some places in South Croydon, Leigh, that are in fact printing money, just to let you know.
Oh, really? Okay, you're aware of those.
You've got to be in the know, right? You've got to be in the know. Yeah. It's not very good. I mean, it's not convincing. You've got to be really brave to take it into your corner shop, but there you go. Tripling goes on to say, think ACR is the biggest online tourneys nowadays. Really? The biggest online tourneys? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we do some... I'd say that's actually probably not true, but we do big tournaments. We have a Sunday Millie every Sunday, 1Ks, 630s every single day. It's really good. Late reg is too long. Proper schedule, and I mean, like I was saying, late regs are too long in my opinion, but it's just what the site goes with, and
You guys haven't dipped your toe, have you, Adam, into the live scene yet? Is that a plan or a thing, do you think?
For ACR as a whole, you mean? Or
yeah.
Yeah, so they do have a festival. They have a festival in Uruguay that I actually went to in November. That we have a really big South American market, so it suits them down to a T. There is rumor that we're going to do our flagship tournaments called the Venom, which is a 2.6K buy-in, 10 million guarantee. And there's rumors that we're going to be doing a live one this year, and it's actually quite close to us. So it's like
How was Uruguay?
Nice.
Yeah, Uruguay was wicked. Really cool.
Did anyone bite you?
No, but
that's all right. You got quite a lucky escape there.
Funny enough, Aguero was there.
Aguero!
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna wipe that moment from football history. We're gonna wipe it from football history. People in the future will go, Aguero who?
Yeah.
Is Ace still out?
You were in South America. There was like 5 million Agueros. You're not saying anything.
Simon,
it's interesting. Paul chirps up just as he raises into a pot. Yeah, that's.
oh, he's chirping now, is he?
I'm gonna. I'll
Fold.
I really should. I really should uncheck auto muck because that was Queens again.
Saw it coming. So what I want to do, Des, whilst especially because Paul's on, I want to have a quick Last of Us update.
Magnifique.
Because Paul messaged me during the week and said, what we should say is Paul is obviously a huge fan of the game and massively looking forward to the TV series. And obviously it's been, hyped up, but it's got a lot of good reviews. And he sort of gave me, so what do you think? I said, well, I went back and said, well, I'll be honest, mate, I'm finding it a little bit slow.
Who said that?
It's I did. Yeah.
You did?
I'm not, I said,
I said
it's
slow.
Visually,
it is slow. I think you're
visually
right. It's
okay,
slow.
but I'm finding it a little bit slow.
So
and a little bit,
my question comes from the fact that because obviously I know the story like the back of my hand already, so I know exactly what's coming. So if you look at so no spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen it, but episode 5 features these characters Henry and Sam, and I knew how the episode was going to go, so it's one of the moments in the game that kind of grabbed me the most. And so watching it in the TV show kind of felt a little bit flat, and I didn't know if that was because I knew what was coming or because actually it wasn't actually done all that well, which would have been a shame because the whole rest of the series has been fantastic.
I thought
episode 4 was just a trailer for episode 5, and I can see how that would be a little bit slow, but I kind of liked it anyway.
Yeah.
But then episode 5 is the one that I was asking about.
I thought 3 showed the potential of, what they could do, right? 3 was phenomenal. It felt like, a really standout episode in anything. And I would agree with Leigh. I think it does feel a little slow. You do sometimes just want them to crack on and get on and let's go. But, I don't know. I mean, maybe the standards that the likes of Game of Thrones and, others have come out with are just incredibly high.
Is the storyline staying real true and close to the game? Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's they're embellishing it. So the episode 3 that Des is on about, those two characters. One of the characters features quite prominently in the game. The other one isn't in the game at all. He's only kind of referred to. So the whole kind of character development and the backstory around those two characters, which was beautifully done and great. So that was kind of perfect. But yeah, they are sticking pretty close to it, which is good. And it's I mentioned when I was last on the head of Naughty Dog, the game developer. He's an exec producer on the show. So as soon as he was involved, we knew it was going to be okay. To be honest.
Yeah, I'm watching it with my kids, which is maybe odd for that type of show. 10 and 8, and they're loving it, absolutely loving it. Not finding it scary in any way, shape, or form. Just loving the adventure of the Cross America thing.
Okay, the 8-year-old got on okay with the bloater in the last episode.
Absolutely.
That's the big one that came out the ground. Yeah,
no issues at all.
See, I don't think normally a good storyline is it's always good versus evil or good versus the baddies or whatever, and I don't think at the moment there's not really much going on with the kind of the darker side of it. There's just it's a little bit of kind of it's tense in places and obviously is what's going to happen, but that's not a constant thing. It's not kind of in your face for 10-15 minutes whilst you're watching it. It's only for literally snippets here and there. The rest of it is just going through I guess the story. And I just felt that it could go at a faster pace. I think quite happily.
If you like kind of that kind of blurring of the lines between good and bad and evil and all that kind of stuff, if the second series follows the pattern of the second game, that's where that really gets interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything about it, but sort of blurring those lines between who's good and who's bad and who's not and all that kind of stuff. That's one of the best things about the second game.
I tell you, looking forward to seeing how the rest of it runs out. There's only 9 episodes, so I mean it's a very short season, right? So there isn't a lot of material by all accounts to play with unless
although there's been a couple of feature length episodes already. A couple of them have been an hour and 20 minutes, haven't they? So there's the amount of content wise you're probably not far off, but But yeah, only 9 episodes.
Yeah, the other thing that I'm finding a bit odd is that, given that this, we're not watching this on demand, it's more or less live, every episode has just a pile of ads. And that's odd. We sort of get out of the habit of watching stuff with ads in.
That does irritate me.
I see. I tend to. So we don't have Sky as such. We have now TV. So basically, we watch it on the stream. So basically, you don't get any of the ads.
Okay.
Then you can just watch.
Yeah, you do. I watch it on Now TV. I still get ads.
No, you get an ad at the beginning, and that's it. That's all you get.
I watch it on Now TV. We get 3 sets of ads.
Do you watch it on Now TV live as it's on though?
No.
Or do you just watch it on the stream?
No, I watch it on the stream.
Yeah. Well, I've never. The only ad I ever get is the Sky one at the beginning. Are you on a genuine Now TV, or is it something you want to say, Paul? Yeah.
One of you's bought a Fire Stick from outside of Tesco's.
Yeah.
No. And now we're in a bit of a shootout situation.
It's all right, mate. This box, you get all the TV in the
like
world
that.
on this box,
You want
mate.
all the football, mate. All the football.
You want all
Lovely.
the football. You want the 3 o'clock games, mate? I can get you the 3 o'clock. Don't you worry about it. Yeah.
Lovely. Notts County, no problem. Friday night, yeah, we can do that. We'll throw that in for free, mate. Lovely.
So I'll tell you a bit more on TV. Watch this week, binge the whole lot because it's on iPlayer already. Is The Gold?
No,
I don't know whether you've seen any of that. Awesome.
What's The Gold?
Absolutely superb. So it's about the Brinksmat robbery.
Ah, right.
But it's not so much about the actual robbery itself. It's about what happened afterwards, in what they then did to try and move the gold on. And obviously the point that was made that was obviously without being too many spoilers, because obviously it's the story's well known, but they was basically saying that the Brinksmat gold is pretty much everywhere because a lot of it got smelted down and is pretty much in most of the gold that then got sold for the next however many years, and so basically it just does the rounds, and so it's always going to be out there. But yeah, really, really good. 6-part, probably will be a second season out of it as well. Actually, I think
that's another thing to look out for.
Set back. Obviously, I love the stuff that's done really well back in time with the old, the sort of the cars from the sort of 80s, 90s, that type of era. It's all good. So yeah, well worth checking out.
Listen, Leigh, just bringing us up to speed on the chat box. Simon said, is this on Sky? No, mate, we're just going out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the APAT website, but we're working on it.
We've hang on. I've got Universal on the line. Does they want to do
really?
A deal?
How much?
Yeah, is that? Yeah.
Are you going to wear that, Leigh? Are you going to wear that? I'm not wearing that.
Do you want me to drag it out? Do you want me to drag it out, or should we just cut to the chase? Yeah.
Oh, listen. Apparently, you have some form of special access because English Tom says won't get ads if you watch Now TV on demand. So, don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's literally what I do when I get ads. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I literally watch Now TV on demand and I get 3 sets of ads in The Last of Us. I don't know why.
Well, it's like a penalty. It's like a penalty for people who've played the game.
I am paying for it.
But do you watch it pretty much as it go? Would you, as soon as it becomes available, you'll watch it? Yeah. Or will you watch it the following day?
No, I watch it with Ben when I'm back at home with Ben, like 3 days later.
Yeah, okay. Oh, right, fine. So definitely shouldn't then. Yeah.
Got the time to knit the ads on.
Strange.
One Mr. Tom Bacon says he prefers the German Arteta to the Cockney Arteta. Cheeky bastard. What? We're trying to entertain you. We're trying to keep you awake.
A couple of weeks ago, your Cockney Arteta was also Harry Redknapp and Terry Venables.
Hey, what's this I hear about? Is it? No, well, it can't be Terry Venables. It's got to be Harry, Harry and Leeds. Is that a thing?
Well, he said he would take the job. I believe
wow.
That was what was said. I mean, how serious that is, I don't really know.
I'd give it to him just for the deadline day transfer talk outside of Elland Road. That would be amazing. It'd be people shoving. That would be great.
Well, I get the impression Leeds are in no rush to bring anybody in. I think they're possibly considering that the 3 they've got in, the coaches can do the job, and there's a possibility that Southampton might well do the same as well, because the guy that inspired the 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge yesterday has been on the coaching staff for a while, and he's talking the talk as if he feels he's ready for a shot.
Yeah,
but
has he coached Luton to European greatness?
Well, no, exactly. But
can we have that guy? Can we have that guy somewhere?
Yeah, it's a possibility that they might not be in the market for anyone either. So we'll see how that pans out.
We will have to see. I was watching on the telly box before we started the stream tonight. The BAFTA Awards were on, the British Academy Film Awards, and there's some decent movies out at the moment. Oscars coming up in the not too distant future. One, the Banshees of Inisherin, which you might have heard of, was sort of filmed about 10 or so miles from where I grew up as a kid. Really interesting to see that doing well. But is there anything that has caught your imagination over the last 2 or 3 months, movie-wise?
I don't even know what is up for Oscar success.
All Quiet on the Western Front was winning all the BAFTAs from the half an hour that I saw earlier on.
Now that's the Netflix one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet, but it did. It got the Best Picture tonight. It won a few of the awards, certainly. The Irish one won a bunch of the awards as well. So it seemed like those two.
Just looking now. So All Quiet on the Western Front. All Quiet on the Western Front picked up 7. The Banshees of Inisherin picked up 4. Elvis picked up 4 as well. So
interesting to see how they get on at the Oscars. I did watch that Banshees of Inisherin. Simon Allen's just said I loved it. It's a bit different. Guys. Would recommend to watch it, but it is a bit different.
There's a film coming up on Netflix called it's following on from The Last Kingdom. I don't know if you guys saw The Last Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I love The Last Kingdom. Yeah,
a film coming out called Seven Kings Must Die in April.
Okay,
cool.
Following on that story, which looks pretty good.
Cool. Asa is hitting the sack, guys. Good night, all. See you all Friday onwards. Yeah, it'll be a big get-together next Friday. Have a great week, Asa. We will see you on Friday.
Asa.
I said to Leigh a couple of days ago, Leigh and Tom and the APAT group chat, I said, I can't, I haven't even booked a hotel for next weekend. I can't believe it's come around so bloody quickly. And Leigh, I think you said something similar. You'd only, cottoned on a week or two earlier also. Yeah. All sorted now, but it just seems to have come around really, really quickly. And it's going to be a big one.
What are you doing for it, or is that not decided or not announced or what? Like,
do you mean from a stream point of view?
Any streaming or shows or all that kind of stuff?
I would imagine we'll do similar to what we did at Poker Squads, which was regular update videos across the weekend, and we might then live stream either the final table or maybe we'll go a little bit further out. I'm there on the Sunday night as well, so that'll take a bit of pressure off. That means we can maybe do a bit more. So I don't know. I mean, Leigh and I will have a chat about it on Saturday morning, and I guess if we can take it a step further than we have done previously, I'm sure we'll be very keen to do that.
Nice.
It's looking great up there. It's looking great up there.
First things first is getting 45 team photos done, and once we've done that, then we'll put our feet up for the rest of the day. And
so you want everyone there at 8:30 a.m. on the Saturday.
Yeah. And then obviously, the great thing about this is for us now is obviously points all start from day 2, so pretty much we don't need to worry anything on the Saturday night. We'll just see who's left on the Sunday, and then start working the team event out from that point. So it'll all be good.
Same point scoring for last year, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the time, Leigh, we did a UK team? We might have done a couple of them where we gave out 199 points or whatever it was. We started the first player out.
Ridiculous.
Those were the days, eh? Those were the days when we were young and energetic.
The arguments of no, I went out before he went out. No, I should have that point. It's like, we won't be doing that again anytime soon.
Listen, guys, if anybody's up for a bit of adventure in Nottingham, Simon says, I've got a spare room if needed, guys. Look me up. Top man. Thank you, Simon Allen.
We're like
also
Airbnb.
Also Simon's Tinder bio as it goes.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Well, yes, we're gonna want to wrap up this up soon. Whilst I've got a profit on this cash table.
Yeah, we want to go watch the $1 million cash game as well.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
exactly.
Can I stop hemorrhaging small amounts of money now, please?
Oh, brilliant. Well, listen, what are we closing up now, Leigh? Shall we do it now? Well, I can't believe you're over $50. Oh, sorry, you've just gone under.
I'm not going to be for much longer against this hand against Natalie.
I'll tell you what, last 3 hands. Let's call it a last 3 hands, eh?
Stand up, you two. Just carry on standing. The stand-up game.
Yeah, let's stand. The stand-up was fabulous.
Well, and Natalie does find a call, which she quite rightly should, because I had 7-9 of hearts, so anything going on there at all. So,
yeah, it's hit and run Wiltshire. Definitely.
Let's see if Paul can. Well, I think Tom Bacon is very much going to be the big winner tonight, because I pretty much think Tom got above $20 very, very early, and has been up around $60 now for most of the night. So he's going to have. Definitely be the one with the most profit at the end of this, I think. That's for sure. Don't forget, obviously, next weekend, loads of side events on all across the weekend. The full schedule's up on the APAT site, but you can also check it out on the Dust Till Dawn site as well. Go on to Lux on Pay if you want to pre-reg for any of those side events. If you're going to play the Friday night bounty comp, which is the normal Friday night comp that happens at Dust Till Dawn, just please be aware when APAT are in town, they're normally queuing around the door just to get into Dust Till Dawn on that Friday night. So leave a little bit of time or get there a little bit earlier, and just be aware that it will be super busy. Last year, I think I'm sure that had over 300 entries. I don't even think anybody might have even got in for a re-entry in the end last year. So if you want to do that, and that Friday night one does go on a little bit. I think it finished about 4 a.m. last year again. So just be aware of that.
On Sunday, Leigh, obviously Adam and I won't be able to play it because we'll be still smashing the team event by this stage. But did you reckon the PLO is going to sell out on the Sunday?
I would imagine it will do. Really looking forward to that. First of our new PLO Championship events with medals up for grabs on the Sunday. 100
irrelevant for our entire team, but I'm just asking for other people who might be listening.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. I think that'll be super popular. Really nice structured one day PLO comp, which I know people really love playing that game. A sensible buy-in as well. So it should be super popular.
Should be fantastic. Dan is out there. I remember winning the team event on that old point system, having the first person out. Not sure it was supposed to be possible. And he says, I miss a Saturday night spreadsheet. It's true. It's true.
This is the last hand of the night. I've up against Paul here. Have you got a king then, Paul? He's gone very quiet.
Watch him. Watch him.
I'll call for the fans.
Calling for the fans. That you have to...
Yeah, nah, I'm not buying that. He's got the nuts.
Okay, then. We'll put a pot-sized bet in on the river then. Yeah, there we go. It's the Queens.
Very nice. Very nice. And with that hand, guys, I think we're going to call it a night.
Yeah.
So
good luck in whatever you're still playing, Adam, because I'm assuming you're still Sunday grinding whatever you've got still on the go.
Just busted. Busted.
That's the APAT Show bot for you in full effect. Yeah.
Finish with a perfect APAT Show moment. Well done, mate.
You're not special. Don't think you're special. We do this to everyone. So with that, thank you to Adam for joining us. Best of luck next weekend. Of course, Paul as well. Best of luck next weekend. El Capitano, our Capitano, right? We want you to do 2 in a row.
Best of luck next weekend, Adam.
There we go. And to the rest of the APAT Show team and to everybody, right? They're going to be coming from all corners of the UK to play this event. So a lot of traffic into Nottingham next week. Thanks to everybody who's played this week. Good luck next week. We will be coming live from Dust Till Dawn on Saturday and Sunday. We just need to figure out in exactly what format that will be. But until then, have a smashing few days and we will see you next weekend. So night, everyone.
See you next week.
Cheers, everyone.